Hey guys, it's Caspian. Welcome back to my Brick Phone videos. Thanks so much if you've subscribed. If you haven't, go subscribe now. And also I had a comment a while back asking me to film a video about how to achieve small things, and it was in response to my video how to achieve big things, and I talk about that a lot on the channel, how to go for our goals, achieve our dreams and other things. So that's today's video, how to achieve the small things. Because we looked at achieving big things as breaking it down into small chunks and having smaller achievable things accumulating to create a bigger picture for our goals. Now, I could have a cop-out answer and say the way we achieve small things is by breaking them into even smaller chunks. But instead I want to focus on thinking about things relative to the bigger things, small things relative to the bigger things, and how we can relativize it to really understand what makes a small thing and what makes a big thing. So a big task might be recording a jazz album, right? Say you've written all these cool pieces in 7/8 and someone said, hey, you should write a jazz album, and everyone's like, yeah man, we really dig your music, and you go, okay, yeah, right, people want me to write a jazz album, I want to write a jazz album, what next? Okay. Now obviously we have to break them into smaller chunks, right? We've got to record each song first, and those are the smaller chunks, but then in each song we have to record each section, and then eventually we break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks. But how do we get started with doing even the smallest things? Sometimes we can have a bit of blank page syndrome, or you can just stare into the distance and go, man, I know I should be starting, but I'm not starting right now. It's a really small thing I have to do at the start, but there's just so many small things, it's all overwhelming. And it can even be difficult to just start doing one small thing. So how do we do these small things? And I think a lot of it has to do with focusing on what the next reward is. Okay, so say for example, you want to record a jazz album, and you said, first I'll work on this song, first I'll work on this section, first I will write this instrument, and first I'll write this one bar of an instrument, okay? Well, writing one bar of an instrument is only a tiny bit of this huge project, so how's that going to make the difference? Well, it's going to make all the difference, because without that one bar, you won't have a full album, right? So think of it as a reward. Once I write this bar, I can write the next bar. And then I'll have 2 bars. And then I'll do that again, and I'll have 4 bars of music. And then soon you'll have 32 bars, you'll have a whole head. You can copy and paste that, 64 bars, or whatever, just an example. And you've been able to visualize the bigger picture with your smaller tasks. So it's kind of the reverse. How to achieve big things? We focus on doing the small things first. How to achieve small things? Keep the bigger picture in mind. It might feel kind of like the small things are insignificant, and so it's hard to even start them. But once you get going and doing the small things, then the big things come really quickly. Now, it's kind of like a mosaic, and I think I'll have to dedicate a whole video to this. A mosaic is made up of all these tiny little squares, right? With one of those squares missing, right, okay, there's not much difference. But if all the squares are missing, then yeah, there's no picture there, right? If half the squares are missing, then there's only half a picture. Even though one square might not seem like much in the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture is made up of all these small things. So when you can't do a small thing, remember that this small thing that you need to achieve fits into the bigger picture, and once you find its place, you'll have so much satisfaction completing that small thing that you can place it on the wall in your grand mosaic. The hardest thing is always getting started, and there always is a bit of grit and determination needed for the smaller tasks, right? But over time you will build a muscle and be able to keep strengthening that muscle to be able to do smaller things over and over again, right? Until you find out, oh, all of a sudden you're achieving medium things, and then you're achieving lots of medium things, you're achieving big things, and then you're achieving lots of big things, you're achieving massive things. Right, you need to build the muscle. It can be so hard to do one small thing. But once you do it, you realize that only took me 5 or 10 minutes. And guess what? You've got another 5 or 10 minutes in your day, you can do the next one. So the perspective of the bigger picture, and knowing that you need to give the time to do these small things, is how you achieve the small things, which is how you achieve the medium things and the big things, etc. Hope that helps, guys. If you've got any more video requests, please write them in the comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and stay safe and stay sane.